All right, so you've got your heart set on studying or moving to New Zealand. Awesome. You probably know there are a few hoops to jump through, right? Well, today we're going to break down one of the very first and most important ones, booking your IELTS test. Let's just dive right in. So, New Zealand is the dream, the land of the long white cloud. Fantastic choice. But before you start packing your bags, there's that little matter of proving your English skills. Now hold on. Don't think of the IELTS test as this huge, scary hurdle. Seriously, think of it more like it's the key that's going to unlock this whole adventure for you. Because that's literally what it is. It's so much more than just a test. It's your ticket to getting into university, it's what helps secure your student visa, and it opens up all those doors for work opportunities. Getting this part right, that's the real starting line for your entire New Zealand journey. So here's our game plan. We've broken this down into 5 easy parts. We'll talk about why it's your gateway, how to choose the right test for you, what score you should be aiming for, the nuts and bolts of how to book it, and of course, what happens after you're done. Okay, first things first. Let's talk about choosing the right test. This is your first big decision, and trust me, it's a crucial one. You've got to know whether you need the academic version or the general training one. Now, at a glance, you might think these two tests look pretty similar, but they are designed for very different things. Which one you pick depends completely on what your goals are in New Zealand. The university or the immigration office you're applying to, they're the ones who set the rules. So the most important thing you can do before anything else is check with them first. And this breaks it down perfectly. Let's make it super simple. If you're planning to study at a university, or if you need to get registered professionally, as a doctor or a nurse or a teacher, then you absolutely need the IELTS academic. But if your goal is migration or getting some work experience or maybe some training that's below a university degree level, then the IELTS general training is the one for you. Easy, right? Okay, next up, so you know which test you're going to take, the next big question is, what score do you actually need to get? Now, as you can see here, these requirements are really specific. For most undergrad courses, you're probably looking at an overall score of 6.0, and they don't want to see any single part of the test, like listening or speaking, below a 5.5. If you're going for a postgraduate program, that number bumps up to an overall 6.5, with at least a 6.0 in every section. And for some of those specialized fields, yeah, it can be as high as a 7.0 across the board. But listen, here's a massive piece of advice. Always aim higher than the bare minimum. Seriously. Scoring a 6.5 or a 7.0, even if you only technically need a 6.0, gives you a safety net. It can save you the stress and the cost of a surprise retake. And it can actually make your admission process go faster. It's like future-proofing your application. Okay, you know the test, you know the score you're aiming for. Now for the practical stuff. How do you actually go about booking this thing? Let's just get the big question out of the way right now. What's it going to cost? Well, for 2025, the official fee for the IELTS test in New Zealand is $475, and that includes tax. And that price is exactly the same whether you're taking the academic or the general training test. And here's some really good news, especially if you're working on a tight schedule. IELTS doesn't hit you with extra fees for booking late. You can literally book a test with as little as 72 hours notice. That is some amazing flexibility right there. The booking process itself is super straightforward. We're talking 5 simple steps. First, you hop online and select your test center. Second, you choose your format. Do you want to do it on a computer or on paper? Third, you pick a date and time that works for you. Fourth, you fill out the application and upload a copy of your passport. And finally, step 5, pay the fee. That's it. And when you get to the payment part, you've got plenty of secure options. Most places will take major credit cards, and a lot of them also offer PayPal or Alipay. Once that payment goes through, you'll get a confirmation email in your inbox, and bam, you are officially booked. All right, on to our final section. What happens after the test? Getting your results is this huge moment, a massive milestone, but it's definitely not the end of the road. And hey, here's one last pro tip to help speed things along. If you choose the computer-delivered IELTS test, you can get your results way faster. We're talking just 1 or 2 days usually. For anyone who's up against a tight application deadline, this can be an absolute game changer. But what if you don't quite get the score you need on that first try? The most important thing is, don't panic. You have options. You can use something called the one-skill retake to just improve your score in a single section. You can ask for a remark if you really feel you were scored unfairly, or you can even look into pathway programs that some universities offer. There is always a way forward. So there you have it, your complete guide to booking the IELTS test for New Zealand. Just by getting your test booked, you've already taken a massive step forward. So the only question left is, what's the next big milestone on your journey?